surprised by this, Andrew. I am. Because I always thought it was slate.
What are you talking about?
It's the word that you should start out whenever you play Wordle.
Oh.
Are you still playing Wordle?
Yeah, I love Wordle.
I remember when I got Wordle on one try, and I sent it to you, the word, and you're like, thanks.
Yeah, you didn't do the whole share button where it pretends and just, privatizes everything. You just sent me the word.
Like, look, I got on the first try.
Look at my screenshot. Well, that's why I never start with the same word, because I want to get it in one try, so I try a different word every single time.
Well, what do you think, according to science, this is science speaking now,
okay.
Not gut, what is the best starting word to use in Wordle? Okay, wait, I'm going to give you options. Okay. You don't have to think too hard.
All right.
Is it A, audio, B, slate, C, raise, or D, stare? Let me give it to you again. Audio, slate, raise, or stare?
Stare, cloud, pinky is the first three words you should use when playing Wordle.
I'm sorry, what was that? Stare?
Stare, cloud, pinky.
Oh, so those are the three that you use?
Yes, you will use a majority of the alphabet with those three words to start.
Eh.
What do you mean, eh?
That was the sound effect for you're wrong. Okay. Raise. Data scientists, they say they have crunched the numbers, and raise consistently ranks as one of the most effective starting words in Wordle. Here's the reason why. It hits 5 of the most common letters in the English language, including 3 vowels to give you a head start.
What science is not looking at, it's hoity-toity people over at the New York Times that use words with 3 Z's in them that try to trick us every single day.
Conundrum.
Exactly.
Okay.
So the common letters, I don't know if they come into play.
It's funny because I was applying, they actually had a job opening to start writing clues for Wordle.
Did they?
Yes. I needed 5 letters of reference.
I'm turning my microphone off.
And on that happy note, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Sit back because you are about ready to get tech ahead. So you're never left tech behind in the digital dust because, after all, this is the Kim Komando Show. It's the nation's #1 show about all things digital. It's the largest. It's the best. It's the most trusted. It's the biggest. And you can find us on over 425 top stations across the United States. We're streaming, as I like to say, in your favorite radio app and wherever you get your podcasts. Just search for Komando with a K. And I know that you have some questions. You want to come on the air with me and Andrew. That's why the Komando hotline is open right now at 1-888-825-5254. And you don't have to sit on hold like all those other people. You can make an appointment to speak with me here on the show. Just head over to the official homepage of the Kim Komando Show. That starts with a K, of course. And up in the top right-hand corner, there's a link that says Ask Kim. And I'd like to thank NetSuite for helping to make this show possible. I say this all the time. And every time I do here in the studios, people are like, oh, God, here she goes again. If you don't innovate, you evaporate. Okay, this is so true. If your business can't adapt in real time, you're in a world of hurt. You need total visibility from global shipments to real-time cash flow. That's NetSuite by Oracle, your AI-powered business management suite trusted by over 41,000 businesses. NetSuite is the #1 cloud ERP for so many reasons. It brings accounting, financial management, inventory, and HR all into one suite. You have one source of truth giving you the visibility and control that you need to make those quick decisions. With real-time forecasting, you're peering into the future with actionable data. And with AI embedded throughout, you can automate so many of those everyday tasks and let your team stay strategic. NetSuite helps you know what's costing you and how to pivot fast. And if your revenues are at least in the 7 figures, you can download the free book. It's called Navigating Global Trade, 3 Insights for Leaders. Where are you to go? netsuite.com/Kim. That's netsuite.com/Kim. Every single day you've heard me say it, and I really do. I go to at least 35 different places. I talk to industry insiders and friends and white hat hackers to see exactly what's going on. And here are 5 things that you need to know that's happening in the tech world right now. And we're going to start with the WWDC. Can you say it like we should really say it?
Yay.
Oh, okay. That was Apple. That was all the people so excited that iOS 26 is coming in fall. Normally these WWDCs are magical. They're amazing. They always are releasing these new products. And I was so excited that maybe we would see the foldable iPhone
which you said like a month ago is a real possibility.
Yes, but no, nothing. There's the new liquid glass theme. It's translucent, less reflective. Don't look so excited.
I'm so bored.
They have polls and group texts. Those are going to be really handy.
What?
Polls and group texts.
That's a new feature
Yes.
that made the list of things that they wanted to promote.
You can have 2 windows open on your iPad. Yeah.
You could do that on a Samsung, like, I don't know, 5 years ago.
And Apple went on the defense. They said that they know that Siri is not very good, and they're going to rebuild it from the ground up. And Apple AI, rebuild it from the ground up. So you know how they're going to rebuild it?
Rename it.
They're buying ChatGPT. Yeah, they're going to put that into, that's how they're rebuilding
You
it.
can't beat them. Join them.
Oh, man. But there was one thing that I thought was interesting. Is you now have something on your Apple Watch, which I don't wear, but if you do, you might be interested. That's called the Workout Buddy. Okay, imagine this. On your watch, you have a workout buddy. It gives you pep talks like, hey, you're doing a great job. Keep sweating. That's awesome. Meanwhile, researchers at the University of Mississippi looked at 50 studies looking at the Apple Watch. And the Apple Watch was pretty good about heart rate and step count, but when it came to calories burned, it was off almost 30%.
In which direction?
Not in your favor, buddy.
Ooh,
you
that's
better
not good.
you better keep going. Let's see. Coming at number 3, some updates you need to know about. Android 16 is officially rolling out. They're pretty excited. You can have group notifications in an app.
Yeah, but can you send a poll to everybody in that group chat?
I don't see it. It says the battery's better, the security's tighter. It's all going to be in the Pixel until that's where it goes first, and then it goes on into
Right.
the other Androids. Do you remember when we talked about the Samsung bespoke line of household appliances that you could make phone calls from your washing machine?
Yeah, that ridiculous product.
Now they have smart refrigerators. Not only do that, it has recognition by voice. So the refrigerator can tell who's near the refrigerator or talking to it just by their vocal patterns.
Who's talking to the refrigerator?
I think this is one of these features that I'm not sure if we ever really need.
No, of course you do. I mean, if you need the fridge to look up the weather and I ask it, I'm taller. So it needs to know what the weather is at my height compared to you. No, it's stupid. It's unnecessary.
Okay, maybe it would be Samsung refrigerator. Who ate my leftovers from last night?
Hello, Kim. It was Barry, but you already knew it was.
Because you're the only 2 in the house. Just saying.
I think they're doing that just for a way of, collecting voices so they can sell it on the third-party sites.
Of course. It's always, they're collecting something for it. It's like when they give you the TV for free. You know?
Right.
It's like, what's going on with that? All right. Coming in at number 4, this is a serious story. Rosie and her husband spent 19 years trying to have a baby. They tried IVF 15 times. Wow. Didn't have any luck.
It's a lot of money.
Her husband has something called azoospermia. Okay, that's the official word of it, okay?
That sounds sexy.
He doesn't have any little swimmers.
I have my sperm are like Zeus. I have a Zeus spermia. I have God's sperm.
Stop that. I'm trying to have a serious conversation right here.
I apologize.
It's called a zoo. I don't want to know about your Zeus, okay? And how I'm just not even going to go there. Columbia University, they came up with an AI system called STAR. It scans millions of the little tiny guys, and the sample moves through this tube, and then when the AI spots a sperm that looks healthy, it moves it into like a special lane where it collects it. And then it was saved, frozen, and used to make a baby. Rosie and her husband are pregnant. They're the first couple in the world to use this new technology.
That is actually very cool. And they could have went instead of 15 times,
Yes.
just once.
Exactly.
And those 15 times, every single, are we pregnant? We are pregnant, but then they lose.
So disappointing.
Yes, that's
and then
awesome.
it's like $25,000 each time too.
Right,
Sometimes
it's a ton of money.
Finally, this coming at number 5. Andrew, tell me what you would do in this situation. You're hiking on some cliffs and it's really, really rocky. Okay. And you lose your balance. And as you lose your balance, you drop your phone.
Okay.
And the phone goes over the cliff.
Sure.
Do you decide to go over the cliff to get your phone? Or do you say, oh, well?
I have insurance on my phone.
Okay.
So I cursed a couple of times. I kick myself for dropping it. And then the minute I get back, I go and I get
into
phone.
it. Well, 2 Seattle tourists were walking along the Land's End Trail in San Francisco. One guy dropped his phone over and decided, I'll just slide down the cliff in order to get it. His buddy says, hey, I'll come down to help you.
See, what do you always say? Teamwork makes the dream work.
That's it. The only problem is that they couldn't climb back up. But they did get the phone.
But at least they were there together.
The fire department spent hours rescuing them. Nobody died, but they got handed a $300 "What were you thinking?" fine.
And we're watching the video right now because we do this show for a podcast on YouTube. They're next to water. Why didn't they climb down more and have a boat come save them instead of pulling them back up the mountain?
There must have been a reason. I mean, firefighters are really smart.
That's true. But there was water right there. Go swimming.
I don't know. It looks like a Darwin test to me.
They failed.
Hey, tech is amazing, but it takes a toll on our lives. We're all guilty of spending hours hunched over our screens and endless doom scrolling. Let me tell you, it's not just draining your mind, it's aging your body too. That's why I take DataPath Collagen every single day. It helps replenish what your body loses over time by repairing joint and skin damage and restoring that youthful glow from the inside out. And you want to outsmart the digital fatigue and take the supplement for your tech-filled life needs. That's NativePath Collagen, because screen time shouldn't show on your face, folks. You can feel the difference naturally. 45% off. You get free shipping and a free gift bundle. That's a frother that's worth $24.95. Go to getnativepath.com/Kim. That's getnativepath.com/Kim.
These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Individual results may vary.
Hey, we have some great tips coming up on why you shouldn't always unsubscribe to emails that you may be receiving. What's going on with the juice jacking at the airport and some Fako. Did you hear Fako crypto? Some Fako crypto apps. And of course, we have all of your great phone calls here on the Kim Komando Show. Hey, over at Trustpilot, my newsletter has a 5 out of 5 star rating with about 700 reviews. And if you're not getting the current newsletter and joining over 650,000 folks who get it every single day, you're missing out. Head over to getkim.com. Once again, that's getkim.com. All right. I got a text from a friend of mine the other day. And
So? I get them all the time.
he said to me, you need to put Kevin on your show.
Oh, okay. So it's something specific that they do.
And I said, really? And he said, yeah. He said, you need to take my cousin Kevin. And I looked up everything that Kevin has done. And boy, what an amazing resume that you have, Kevin.
Thank you.
And so, gosh, how do we start? You want to start by talking about Lincoln Riley?
Yeah, sure. We can discuss that.
Okay.
So, and this is kind of just a fluke, believe it or not, how we fell into this. It was kind of an alignment of the universe, basically. So just a quick overview of me is we develop some software, and we give have an online community of just digital investigators because it's a very unique thing. So we're trying to bring everybody together to kind of have conversations. And how that started was the Athens Clark County Police Department down in Athens, Georgia, had called us up, and they said, hey, we really like your platform. Can you build us out one? So we did, and that was about 4 years ago. and just by chance, is that they actually used this software to help collaborate. Because if you're familiar with how police is structured, it's really not the most efficient in the world.
How does it work? Because you were saying you built out a platform. How exactly do police investigations work right now?
So how it works is it's kind of like in a silo, right? I'm retired law enforcement, and when the detectives are working on a case, it's kind of just all in the detective bureau. Patrol is usually completely unaware. The crime analysts are completely unaware of what's going on or updates in a case, and unless they make those updates that go across the full department, which doesn't happen very often. So imagine, if you will, like a major social network, fully encrypted, just internally within the agency, and that's kind of what we built out for Clark County. Well, the case was originally a University of Athens case, which is a much smaller police department, just a university police department. So they requested the help of Athens, Clark County, which is much larger. I think they have like 250 officers, something like that. But how do you disseminate the information for a case to an entire agency of that size? So what they did is they used some of our technology, and just essentially how I like to look at it, it was all really phenomenal police work. If you could attach police officers to the matrix, plug them right in, and they can all communicate together simultaneous. This is very similar to what this is. So they just dump the information into what looks like a social media platform, and all the officers had access to it.
So that this way the information gets disseminated, and then people can comment on it, add, and
exactly,
collaborate on it.
Just like you would do looking at a crazy cat meme on Facebook, you can comment on a particular post or an image of a video that was uploaded by an officer at a particular crime scene.
Wow, that's so smart. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's definitely unique in how we did it. And anyway, to kind of roll the ball on is one officer knew the area exactly where it had happened or around the area, and knew there was an apartment complex near there. So went over there, found the dumpster, or it just happened to get out and look in this dumpster and found bloody clothes. Turns around, looks, sees the doorbell cam right there. So goes over to the door, gets all the video, uploads it to the system. Another officer sees the video and goes, "Oh, yeah, I know that person. They live over in so-and-so with their brother." So that led them on even further. So that they ended up getting the suspect in custody with all the evidence collected after the upload in just about 12 hours, I think it was.
Okay, I'm going to need you to stop right there, Kevin, because I'm going to put you on hold. And the reason why is that we need to pay some bills around here. And that means that we're going to play some commercials. And then when we come back, I want to know more about the case and exactly how they used your platform, and maybe some other counties and cities that are using it as well. And if you're serious about protecting your privacy online, listen up. Incogni just launched their new unlimited plan, and it's a total game changer. You can now submit links to websites where your personal info is exposed, and their team of privacy pros will get it all removed. Head over to privacykim.com right now, 60% off at privacykim.com. You know, in business, they say you can have better, cheaper, or faster, but you only get to pick two. But what if you could have all three? You can with Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. Try OCI for free at oracle.com/Kim. That's oracle.com/Kim. All right, so Kevin, using this system that you said, instead of using a cat meme, is that we're trying to solve a case, it took 12 hours. Do you have any estimate how long it would have taken if they were not using this type of technology?
Wow, I wish I could estimate that, but there's a lot of blockages when it comes to that, because they have to disseminate the information through typically roll calls. I mean, I'm of an older generation where like Hill Street Blues was on, right? And used to watch the officers all sitting in a room just before they go out in the shift. And that's where all the information was disseminated. And, you know, imagine with today's technology, getting copies of video in that format or even digital images now and audio, all of that is very difficult to do in those types of settings. So putting a time frame on it would be really difficult. But, again, I don't know the officers that all worked the case. Phenomenal team that solved it because they did it quick. So I can't really say how fast they would have done
For
it. Or
sure.
would have done
It's hard to say, but you're right. Because I wasn't thinking what you were saying is that you do see the videos where all, somebody stands up in the front, says, this is what we're working on. This is what I have. These are the leads that I'm looking for. But now we have all kinds of different technologies that will enable faster progress on such cases. You mentioned even just the Ring doorbell cam. I mean, being able to have that footage as well.
Right, and being able to share that just instantly across the entire department, especially officers coming off on days off. Maybe it was their first day back or the shift changed, and they can just get those immediate updates. Again, I like to refer to it as the matrix for police officers, so they're able to do that. And I know you guys like to talk AI on the show as well.
For sure.
And it's something we had just released. What did it say? We just released it. And essentially, we're looking at dispatchers have to deal with a lot of chaos and calls like, hey, my neighbor's dog is barking, or, my neighbor's grass has grown 3 feet high, and I need someone to deal with that. Dispatchers got a lot of things going on, a lot of emergencies, especially in today's world. Just flip on the news, right? You see all the chaos going on. Well, what we developed is AI that actually answers police calls and can handle and determine whether the call is an emergency and needs to go immediately to dispatch or go to 911, or whether it's got to go to the parking division or code enforcement to deal with somebody's grass. And that just went live this week.
Okay, so how did you do that? Did you use ChatGPT, Perplexity, Claude? I mean, did you make your own? And how long did it take you to work with the LLM to do that?
Yeah, it took probably about 6 months of training to practice. We do use some proprietary stuff in the back end and a little bit of ChatGPT. Obviously, one that's already trained up and already built is phenomenal because it also helps us understand. It has a contextual understanding of what's dangerous and what's not dangerous already by, all of the millions of hours that it's already been trained. So that's kind of how it came about. Was we were talking to some dispatchers and they're just overworked, overloaded, and they have to deal with these other types of things. So we've seen, go through any major restaurant now to the drive-through. It can take an order. We figure, hey, AI can do this. It can certainly triage calls and understand what's important and what's not, what's dangerous, what's not.
Now, is there like an accuracy rate? Is it 90%, 98% correct?
Oh, wow. So far, we've got a 99.9% accuracy rate.
Beautiful. Love that.
We haven't had it fail. And it's amazing because, when we were in our testing phases, what was a lot of fun is I got a bunch of retired police officer friends of mine that's, they think of some crazy things. And we were going through the testing phases early on. And they would put it to the most insane scenarios that you would never think would happen. And the AI would come through with flying colors. I'm like, wow, we didn't even teach it to do that. And it understood the context.
That's phenomenal.
This needs to happen.
Well, speaking of AI, when you were explaining your Matrix software, the social media app that allows police officers to communicate, is there any AI built into that where if someone posts a video, the artificial intelligence can go, oh, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Main Street. There's a McDonald's next door.
Exactly.
There's a neighborhood to the left.
There was another case. This sounds like another case. This
right.
sounds
Is there
like
any of that built in?
You guys are reading my mind. Are you sure you're not in my files here?
We are. And if you want us to keep it a secret, it's going to cost you 5%.
or 3 Bitcoins.
Bring you on as consultants to the dev team, right?
Yeah.
So, that is planned to come in to start being able to look at. Now, the challenges with it, obviously, is there's a lot of privacy and information that has to happen within the law enforcement information. A lot of compliance that we have to deal with. And when we send information off to a ChatGPT, it has to be sent in a certain way where it's not storing personal information from citizens. So that's the challenge that we're having currently with that, but that is being worked on actively right now.
Very cool.
That is awesome. And so, Kevin, what's the name of your company?
The main name is Averi Solutions, but that product specifically is called Blue Line Intel.
That makes sense. Blue line intel. I get that. Okay. Well, you know what?
I'm not a complex person.
You're everything that Randy told me and a whole bunch more. He's like, he's at a family reunion. He's like, you got to talk to Kevin. He knows exactly what's going on.
That's a really cool product.
It is a cool product.
And you know what? You sell it to police departments. A, there's a lot of them. And B, that's government money. That stuff never stops.
Look at you, a little marketing maven there. Kevin, thanks for your time today. Tyra in Phoenix, Arizona, welcome to the show. Hi, Tyra.
Hello, how are you?
Excellent. So all I see is you have a song.
Oh, yeah. So I am a special ed teacher and self-contained classroom for kindergarten, first and second grade. And so I was listening to your show and I heard, oh, yeah, you can just, it was like last weekend. And I'm like, oh, yeah, you can make a song through ChatGPT, and then you go to one of your sites that I wrote down, which is Suno, and then they make a song with it. Mm-hmm. So I did that. And I wanted, because my kids really respond to songs and videos. So I took our rules of the classroom and had ChatGPT make a song. And then I went to Suno and had a song, I guess the lyrics put into a song.
I think we have this. I think we have this.
Oh,
song.
I want to hear this.
Yeah, let's hear a little bit of it.
Make smart choices. We think it through before we act. We use kind words, that's a fact. We do what's right in every way. That's rule number 4 each day. Rule 4, make smart choices.
See, we're nice to everybody every day, Andrew.
I do a lot of AI audio work. I could have nailed that voice. I knew that voice was AI. I mean, it sounds great, but it's one of 20 voices to choose from.
I think it sounds great.
Really great.
It sounds really good. So now you want to turn this into a video?
Yes, because my students really respond to videos. They just like the dancing part or the action. So I was just curious if there was a way to take the song and put it into a video.
What do you think, Andrew? CapCut?
Yeah, absolutely. But she's going to now, when you're making a video, you're obviously saying you need something generated. You're not going to go out and shoot a bunch of videos. You need them generated, right?
Correct. Yes, that would be correct.
Well, then, you could use Sora, S-O-R-A, to create the video, or Google VEO, V-E-O, and those videos are crazy.
But one thing you need to do is you need to take it slow. So when you're putting the prompts into these generators, you don't want to put the whole thing in, not the whole song. One verse at a time, 2 lines at a time. Let it, because you're going to get a better result if it has to produce very little information rather than an entire song all at once.
Yeah, and especially some of these, unless you pay, you're limited to 5 seconds.
Right.
10 seconds.
And once you get it worked out, your pieces of video, then you can go over to CapCut, easily slap them all together, and export it out.
Or maybe you just create the video and then put the song to the video.
You could do either way, yeah.
So that because otherwise you're looking at 5 seconds, 10 seconds, if it's going to actually create it to that particular song.
Right.
You can get the pro version. It's $200 for the month.
Yeah, no.
She's a teacher.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm not sure about that. But you could create your own video using CapCut and not use AI and just get standard videos and photos, and that wouldn't be too hard to do, would it?
No, not at all. But again, if you want to go another way, you don't have to do videos. You could just do images that you can get. And you can get images from AI all over the internet for free. And then put those images to the music and have them move. CapCut can create templates or easy add-ons that have the photos move from left to right, zoom in, zoom out.
There's also another site called Lumen 5, Lumen, the number 5. You might want to try too. For the video, instead of using ChatGPT, the Sora, or Google's VEO, is that's also a place where you can upload some text. Now, last time I tried it was about 6 months ago. It was pretty lame.
Okay.
But the way that the AI tools work now, what was lame yesterday, it's like suddenly like, whoa, that was really good.
But another thing, and I'm just thinking as we're talking, why don't you make the video of the students next year? You know how much they would love to see themselves on the screen.
Yeah, that would be cool.
On YouTube with the music and song playing in the background. They could hold up signs, the rule number 1, stuff like that.
Yeah, that's actually, what do you think about that, Tyra?
Oh, yeah, that would be great. Are you kidding? They like to see themselves anywhere.
Yeah, and then they would be more inclined to watch it, and especially because they're in it.
Yeah, they're going to focus.
They'll be like, oh, look at me.
I'm a star.
Tyra, thanks for your call today. And thanks for sharing your song with us. Cybercrime is not slowing down. It's actually getting worse. Hackers are smarter, sneakier, and they're after everything, your devices, your data, even your bank account. So how do you fight back? Well, one of the best defenses is solid antivirus software. It scans for malware. It blocks suspicious websites. It stops hackers before they can do any damage. Now, of course, a healthy dose of thinking twice when opening email or clicking links doesn't hurt either. You need to be smart, but for the antivirus help that you also need, I trust and recommend Total AV. They update you in real time, keeping you protected from the latest threats. Here's what you need to do. Go to protectwithkim.com. You get Total AV for just $19 for the first year. Covers up to 5 devices, Windows, Macs, and smartphones. Don't wait until it's too late. Get protected right now. Go to protectwithkim.com. Once again, protectwithkim.com. All right, so spam emails are super annoying. And when you click the unsubscribe button at the bottom of the screen, you might say, oh, this is fabulous. Well, guess what? I know. That unsubscribe button at the bottom of the emails is being used in scammy emails and phishing scams. And if you click it, you could land on a fake website where they're asking you for your name, your address, your mother's maiden name, your shoe size, whatever it may be. And they want to install some malware. So to play it safe, use the unsubscribe button at the top of your email service, like in Gmail, or you can mark the message as spam and then just delete it from there. All right, still to come, we have more of your phone calls as well as later on. I got to warn you about some crypto apps you don't ever want to use here on the Kim Komando Show. You know, last year my husband Barry caught a virus and he lost hearing in one ear. And then the next thing I know, trouble communicating with him. He keeps saying, like, what'd you say? And then I find myself, like, really not wanting to talk to him because he's missing all the details. And that's when I said, you know what, buddy, you need to get a really good hearing test. And then they said, you know what, you need hearing aids. At Hear.com/Kim, they give you a 45-day risk-free trial and a lifetime of support. Their hearing aids are great. Horizon IXs, they have crystal clear sound. They filter out the background noise. You want to go to Hear.com/Kim to see if you qualify for that 45-day risk-free trial. Once again, that's Hear.com/Kim. Alrighty then, back to the calls we go with Ben in Portland, Oregon. Hi there, Ben. Pleasure to have you on board with us.
Hi, Kim. How's it going? I love your show. I listen to it every week.
Well, thank you. Appreciate that.
Need to listen more to it. So I had a question about QR codes. And I looked this up. I did my own research, kind of, and it just said, don't scan QR codes if you don't know where you're at, like the source or whatever. But I'm like, but the QR codes are like everywhere. They're at Applebee's. They're at in the airport. You can't even get a menu unless you scan the code. And I'm just kind of curious as what are they doing with that information, or how much information are they getting from that?
Well, the QR code, think of it this way. It's just a shortcut, okay? It's a shortcut from your device to wherever it's landing, whether it's a menu, whether it's a way to enter something to win, whether it's directions where you're going to pay a parking meter, get your boarding pass. I mean, you're right, they're just literally all over. And so what that is, and typically there's a service in the middle that does the handshake between your device and wherever you're going to land. Okay. So that man in the middle is think about your device. What is he getting from you? What do you think?
I mean, my phone number, it could be an address. I don't know. I don't know all the things.
That's what it's getting. It's getting your phone's unique ID. It's getting your location, the operating system that you're using. It may know what apps that you have open. It may look at permissions. What do you think, Andrew?
I thought he would have been safe to just say absolutely everything.
Yes, okay.
Because when it comes to us, everything is on our phones. And some of these code services, they take everything.
It's not going to be able to get into your bank account.
No, but it's going to know that you have the Bank of America app on your phone.
Yes, okay. And then it's going to bring you to wherever it is. And then wherever you're going, depending upon that guy in the middle, they may be sharing your data when they sell it to somebody else, or they just may be accumulating it. But very rarely is it something where it's like, oh, we're just going to be nice. Here you go.
Yeah, because I learned a long time ago, if you're not paying for something, you're the product.
Yes.
So I'm just like, well, they're just gathering. I'm like, how much are they gathering? Should I be like willy-nilly just, QR everything? Because my kid watches this show called The Beast Games, and he's like, hey, you can win $1 million if you just scan this QR code and sign up or whatever. I'm like, I don't know if I want them to have my information, or what are they going to do with it?
But
how insidious is it?
But Ben, you added something else. When you sign up. Okay, because when you sign up, they're getting even more information from you when you sign up, and then puts you on lists, and then that gets sold time and time again. But you're absolutely right, Ben. Anytime something's free, you are the product. All right, still to come, some fake crypto apps that are stealing so much money from so many people I need to warn you about here on the Kim Komando Show. All right, so let me ask you a question. What are the first 3 letters in crypto? Anybody? CRY. Yes, CRY. And there are some fake crypto apps that are really going crazy and being spread like wildfire. One's called Sushi Swap. Okay, that should be your first clue that that's a bad crypto app.
All legitimate businesses are called Sushi Swap.
Another one's called Pancake Swap.
Well, Pancake goes pre-pandemic. I have an account on Pancake Swap.
Okay. It's bad. It's bad. You're being asked to enter your 12-word phrase, which could give hackers to all of your crypto. So just a little public service announcement. App icons and names can be deceiving. You want to stick with the big names that are out there, not something that doesn't have any reviews or some glowing reviews coming at one particular day. Hey, just a reminder, if you haven't already, our Pay It Forward challenge is ending soon, so make sure that you enter to win right now. Do it while you're thinking about it. Go to winfromkim.com, $500 for you and $500 for somebody else at winfromkim.com.